Morning folks, and welcome back. Thanks for joining me on another video. This is going to be a bit of a commentary on Ghost Recon Breakpoint again. Really, I've been playing it a fair bit now, so it's really my views on the state of the game as it stands at the minute, as far as I'm concerned, and whether or not I'm going to continue to play it. There's plenty of other videos on YouTube about the state of the game. I'm not really going to talk about the store. The store, I'll be honest with you, it is as vile a monetization thing as I've ever seen. Literally, you can buy almost everything in game. You don't have to, I don't believe, not so far that I've experienced anyway. But you know what? There's some really good comments out there. You know, I've seen on a couple of other reviews, Angry Joe and a couple of others, where they point out to quote, I think it was Monty Python, they quote the bleeding obvious. You know, you're paying upwards of 60 quid, euros, dollars, whatever currency you're in, to buy a game which has got lots of content in it, and then you buy time savers. You spend money on time savers to actually skip the game content that you paid so much money for. It's kind of daft. You don't have to do it, and the reality is I've not even looked at the store pretty much ever since I first had a quick look at when I got the game. Its current state at the minute, there's still... you know what, let's give you the good first. The good, I still love the world. I think the world looks incredible. I think as a setting, it's awesome. I honestly just think it's the wrong game in the right terrain. I think this would be an awesome terrain for, or an awesome game world for something like, I don't know, Skyrim, for example. You know, a giant archipelago where you were running around in an RPG. It doesn't seem to work so well for this. You just run from one set of enemies to or you know, from one occupied area to another. Every few hundred meters there's a random outpost with two guys and a motorbike, or two civilians and two bad guys. So it really, whilst the world feels alive in terms of nature, you know, the trees and the animals and everything else, that it just misses something in terms of the feeling occupied. You know, if you're watching the video at the minute, you know, I'm walking around, I'm bumping into all these groups, I'm killing them. You know what? If this was real life, they'd be sending out hunter-killer groups. You know, there'd be helicopters, there'd be you know, in game setting, there'd be drones, there'd be wolves, whatever the right plural is for that particular group. So it's kind of it misses a sense of peril. I never go into anything feeling I'm likely to die unless it's one of the bigger drone behemoths. Again, however the hell you say that word. So whilst I've enjoyed the time I've put into it at the moment, it's lacking something. And what did it for me actually was when I was doing a mission where I had to infiltrate an underground bunker. It starts off in a Skell estate, and I got all the way through it, and then because of some I think actually the phone went, so I was expecting a call, so I had to take it. I basically died in the middle of this mission, and then it respawned me bloody miles away. I mean, literally so far away I couldn't find on the map where I started the missions from. I'd got the gold waypoint for the actual mission, but that was underground, and there was no way of working out how to get back to it. So I eventually worked out I was something like 2 or 3 kilometers from the Skell estate where the whole quest chain started. I had to get back there. So it's that there are little frustrations which have kind of built up to my overall feeling about the game at the minute, which is that I'm glad I only bought it on Uplay Plus. You know, I paid $12.99 for a month, which is, by the way, extortionate. Uplay, Ubisoft, $12.99 a month to get your back catalogue. It's not worth it. However, it was better than paying 60 quid for a copy of the game. So thank you, Mac, from Worth a Buy, for that tip. I'm going to have to shout out to you on that one. The reality is that I find myself, like I say, enjoying the game world. Kind of started to enjoy the gunplay and everything else, but it's just got too repetitive. It's got everything I hated about MMOs in it. You know, go here, collect this, do that, go back here, go all the way back to where you started to hand it in, then go back to where you were to get the next part of the quest. It gets frustrating, and honestly, when I got transported a mile away from where I needed to be, or for a kilometre away for those of you in metric, kilometre and a half-ish, I just stopped playing. It actually just made me stop playing for a few days, and I just was so frustrated with it. And you know what? There's been nothing, even with the latest updates and stuff, there's been nothing that's actually made me want to get back into the game. I've just recorded a bit of footage this morning to give us a backdrop to the video, and you know what? It was entertaining for 5 minutes, but actually now I kind of want to go and play World of Tanks, or actually something I've not played since I got on the beta for this was Division 2, which bizarrely actually has more longevity to it, I think. I've played PvP and it was entertaining. I've got probably 2-3 hours, something like that, in PvP all in. But actually, it's entertaining, but it's not gripping. You know, you kind of, it misses something. What I think would be awesome would be a 12 versus 12 team deathmatch, for example, or a 24 versus 24 deathmatch, all v all. You know, everyone versus everyone. There's that sense of, I don't know, a reason to play the PvP. It just isn't there for me. Which is a shame, because I genuinely loved the game at first impressions. I thought it looked awesome. I thought it would be something which would keep me playing. But the reality is, you know, that some of the reviews that are a bit more scathing than mine are pretty much spot on, albeit with a little bit more polemic. So my final view on Ghost Recon Breakpoint, as it stands at the moment, the state of the game at the moment, is I'm actually going to be cancelling my Uplay Plus subscription, and when that runs out, I'm not going to be playing the game. I'm certainly not going to pay 60 quid, $60, 60 euros, whatever, to buy a copy of the game so I'll continue playing it in its current state. I suspect what I might do is give it 6 months and then maybe take out Uplay Plus again to try it out and see. I think it's got potential, but I just think the potential is wasted at the minute. They've just seemed to have gone crazy about the monetization side and quite neglected some of the other things. You know, the world builders are to be applauded, frankly. It looks gorgeous, you know. But the guys that have come up with the quests, or, you know, that if it's the same people, where they've fallen down is with the quests and the quest system. And as for the user interface, it's bloody hideous. You press M to get the map up. Any other time you'd press M to get out of the map. No, you have to press escape, which, you know, is a fairly normal thing. But I like being able to press the same key, because then I don't need to look for 2 keys. And it's full of little irritants like that, and it's all combined has made me actually just pretty much decide that I'm not going to be playing it anymore in the current state. If there are free weekends coming up or whatever, I'll probably jump back in for a little bit of entertainment. But yeah, I think despite my earlier optimism, more time in the game has actually proven that it's not really the sort of game I'm looking for right now. So I hope that update has been useful to people. I'm guessing there's probably still a lot of people that haven't bought this yet. There's been so much bad press about it. I feel like I'm only adding to the bad press, but unfortunately, you know, the devs and the publishers are to blame for it. It's they've only got themselves to blame. So that's it as far as I'm concerned with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. No more videos from me on the subject. I'm going to go and do some other games which I enjoy immensely, like World of Tanks, when I'm not raging at it. So thanks very much for watching this one. As always, if you found the content useful, you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Comment in the comment section whether you did or didn't. I always value your feedback. And as always, if you could like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, that would be awesome, as it will help me grow the channel. Once again, thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video. But not one about Ghost Breakpoint. Cheers, bye-bye.